Here's how we improved Eliana's Google Ads campaign by 833% in 3 months. So Eliana is a very interesting case study because prior to working together, she fell into the nightmare that I think so many business owners are scared of, which is hiring a marketer or an agency that basically does not get them results and burns a lot of money. And either scenario is just in a horrible position to be in. So I want to uncover some of the mistakes in her account and some of these common pitfalls so that you can avoid them and save hours of headaches, thousands of dollars burnt, and just hopefully learn to get off on the right foot from the jump. All right, so quick story about Eliana. So she operates her business in a small town in Alabama, and she would have what I would say a successful cleaning business, meaning she's grown very well just off of referrals. She has a very loyal client base, a solid sales process, scheduling process, all of that stuff. But she basically just wanted to increase her lead flow. And fair enough, Google Ads is a great platform to do this on. She was spending up to thousands of dollars per week with very little results. Now we're averaging about 54 quality leads per month. She's closed 83 new clients since partnering about 10 months ago, which is awesome. And a big part of her success is because we figured out how to optimize the Google Ads and why that's crucial for her business. So I just want to show you a before and after of her previous marketing campaign versus what it is now. So look at these previous stats, a conversion rate of 1.2% to now basically 10x that at 11.27%. And her cost per lead, she was spending a fortune, 363 on average cost per lead. Now we've got that down to about $43. This alone is really the difference between a business that is burning tons of money every month versus one that's achieving, realistic numbers and can actually grow off of these numbers. So we just optimized a few things, which I'm going to go over in this training and, give you guys the sauce. But just for some quick proof that this is real, this is not all talk. So this is her CRM right here. You can see that since we started, we've generated 29 initial cleans and she's converted 54 of total clients into recurring. So that's actually an excellent split between recurring versus initial cleaning. Very proud of her for that. Her team's obviously doing something right. And then if we look into the conversations, so as you can see, these are qualified people that are ready to book. We have UTM tracking in place so we can see exactly which platform they're coming from, which would be paid search for Google Ads, right? But yeah, these are qualified people. Like, I'm ready to schedule. Of course, send me the confirmation. Yes, please, let's do it. Google Ads, right? In this training, I'm going to reveal exactly what we tweak so that you can copy and paste as you follow along and just basically earn more money through Google Ads. Now, this will apply whether you're doing house cleaning, commercial cleaning, Airbnb, post-construction cleaning. The same concepts will apply to any type of service. So that's the great news about this. And as long as you follow these details, you will be less like this guy on the left, the burnt out business owner who's spending hours every day on YouTube University trying to learn about keyword bidding strategies and figuring out like which form converts best on their landing page. Less time like that and more time like this guy who is happy and actually seeing the bookings coming in. All right. So that being said, let's go over the 3-step Google Ads makeover. So the first thing we're going to start off with is optimizing your landing page. Now, with a landing page, there's essentially going to be 2 goals, which is either to get a call or a form submission. Now, you can make a case that there's a third option, which would be a calendar schedule. So if you guys are using like a platform like Booking Koala or ZenMaid, where these leads can pre-schedule ahead of time, that is obviously a very qualified lead. And that would actually be superior in terms of qualifications go, because that's as closest as you can get them to the sale, right? Like if they're putting their credit card and address ahead of time and they're pre-booking. But the reason why I did not include that in this is because I actually don't believe that you should send traffic to these scheduling forms if they are through paid traffic. So in other words, Google Ads, Facebook ads, something like that. I think a simple contact form is going to be much better. It's going to lower that friction, and you're going to get more leads and more opportunities to sell. But in either case, whatever the call to action is, they ultimately lead to the same thing, which is a new lead. That's what we want, right? Here's the issue. When a lot of people are coming to your landing page, but a small percentage of them are actually submitting a form or calling you, what you have is a low conversion rate. So if we look at this example on the left, let's say 50 people come through your funnel and only one of them submits. Well, that would be a 2% conversion rate, which is not good. That's bad. Now on the right, let's say we have 50 people coming through our funnel and 10 of them convert. Well, that would put us at a 20% conversion rate. And that is much better. Same traffic source, which is Google Ads, different funnel process. Again, one person converts out of basically 10x that. So we want to be obviously on the right here, having a good conversion rate. And really the difference between these is a business that is burning money every month versus one that truly scales. I mean, even just going from like a 1 or 2% conversion rate to a 5% can make a huge difference to your bottom line. So I would always try and shoot for small incremental increases every few months. And that's how you'll know that whatever optimization you're making on your page is moving you in the right direction. So that's something that we keep track of on a continual basis. But let's just quickly look at her previous landing page. So the first thing that I see with this page is a lack of cohesiveness. There's green, purple, blue. The eye doesn't really know what to focus on. I talk with people all the time and even work with clients that are very insistent that they brand their page properly, meaning whatever colors their logo has, they want the page to be exactly that. And this is not always the right advice, because when you have a very like flamboyant looking logo, for example, that doesn't always translate well to a page design. It can actually make the page look more confusing the more on brand you try and be, funny enough. So that would be like the first visual cue I see. Now into some more details. So in this top section over here, this would have been a better opportunity to include some of their own photos instead of stock photos. And then this part, it's a little like award that she won as part of her city, which is good. But I think this would have been an opportunity to put some of her Google reviews for more social proof. And then we see this form over here. The form isn't bad per se in terms of the details it's collecting, but this call to action, request a quote, basically pulls a pop-up form of the same form. And there's more call to action buttons below the page, which is a good part on their end. But here's the problem. When the form pops up, it's just this random looking blue form. Right here, there would ideally be the steps listed out of what comes next. So this is where you would fill out your contact details and we'll call you quickly, or we'll text you in a little bit. Just something like that to let these people know that they're basically entering a sales process. All right, so now let's look into the new landing page that we set up. The first thing you'll notice is that we are not following their company colors, yet the page looks more cohesive and like trustworthy and professional. The first thing that you'll see on the page, we have this attractive offer for a free oven cleaning if they submit. And then we also put down here, letting these people know that we service their area. So this is an opportunity that a lot of people miss, is putting the city or county that they service on their landing page, because we always have to give these users the benefit of the doubt and let them know that they did come to the right page. All right, so many companies miss that. Then we have the trust badge for credibility. We have some before and afters down here, and then an authentic team pick. So this thing right here is huge. The more authentic and raw your photos can be, like they actually came from a company, the better your page will convert. And then for our call to action button, so we have people scroll down to this form if they click the button to request a quote. And we have the form, but this right here is the important part. So obviously they get a free quote, but we also tell them what happens next after they submit. That is just like some quick pointers for a landing page. All right, show you the before and after real quick. So we went over that. Landing page optimization. Now let's move into the second step, which is ad optimization. So I'll make this statement because this is very important. The closer your Google ad matches the exact search that the user made, the better your ad will convert. So in this example, if we were a dental office and let's say we didn't know how to run Google ads properly, we would potentially lose money on this campaign because people that are searching for house cleaning, well, our ad is showing up because we have the word cleaning in our headline. And maybe we didn't use the proper match qualifiers, whatever the case is. But this is an example of a poor ad experience. Now, same example, someone searches house cleaning, but now we actually have a house cleaning ad pop up, right? So these keywords match like pretty identical to what the person was searching. This right here is a good example. So we obviously want to be the second example over here. Now, some points to help illustrate this. Let's look at Eliana's previous ads, because this is an opportunity that there could have been some improvements on. One thing that I will say is that with Google Ads, you want to try and make your headlines and your ad copy and descriptions as benefit oriented for the user as possible. So we as business owners have a tendency to always talk about ourselves. We've been in business for 20 years. We're 5-star rated. We do this. We promise, these results in quality cleaning, and, we this and that, etc. The truth is, your potential customer does not care. They want to know what's in it for them and what benefits they get to their life going with you. So this is where it's an opportunity for you to talk more about what time they save, how they're going to deal with less arguments with their spouse, how their children and pets are going to feel more safe and at ease at home, how they don't have to deal with as many aches and pains in their back from bending over and scrubbing, that sort of thing. With their headlines, a lot of these are kind of generic, like, voted best cleaning service, top rated cleaning service, office cleaning service, relax while we clean. This is actually a good example, right? Because that is kind of like a convenience-based angle. But for the most part, it's a little generic with some of these headlines. Another thing I'll say, though, is lack of congruence. So I just pointed to this office cleaning service. We can see this a little bit here too, because in one description, they talk about house cleaning down here, and then they talk about commercial cleaning down here. Now there's a little bit of a mismatch. Same thing if we look at their actual ad. So they talk about office cleaning as one of their headlines, commercial cleaning, but then they start talking about residential cleaning, home organization, rental and property cleaning. What they've essentially done is they've jumbled together a bunch of these services. And if someone is searching for house cleaning and this ad pops up and it says office cleaning, even if it says residential cleaning like over here, the fact that there's mentions of other services, believe it or not, they're less likely to convert than if they saw the same ad that just mentioned house cleaning and that was it. And this is really the mindset between a specialist and a generalist advertiser. So I want you guys to think of your advertisements following a similar structure. Again, don't focus too much on features, focus more on benefits, and try and make it as specific to one service as possible. All right, so let's look at some changes we made. By the way, what I will say is that out of all of the things that we sort of intervened with Eliana's campaign, I would say their ad was probably the most on board, meaning there wasn't really too much to nitpick with their ads. I think for the most part, they were pretty decent. They were just lacking like 2 of these points that I mentioned. But anyways, some of our examples. So again, we're talking more about like pain-based benefits that they get. So we clean, you relax. So that's a pain point that a lot of homeowners can really resonate with. Fall in love with your home, request a quote in 20 seconds. So we're going with like the time-based, convenience-based offer. And then we do have like a quick and reliable cleaning. Like that is a little bit generic, I won't lie. But, that's fine as long as we have some benefits. And then description, following that same concept. Down here, this is important. So you should add images to your ads. Now, they had a lot of like stock and AI photos. No good. Put in your own authentic images, even if the quality is like a little bit poor, still going to outperform them 10 out of 10 times. And then the actual ad, we just want to see consistency. So request a quote in 20 seconds. Down here, same thing, 20 seconds. We're talking specifically about house cleaning, so there's nothing mentioned of commercial cleaning or organization services, nothing like that. So hopefully that is pretty clear, right? So we talked about landing page optimization. We talked about how to optimize your Google ads, the actual ad that the people see. Now let's go into the third thing, and this is going to be campaign hygiene. So their campaign was optimizing for the wrong thing, which was clicks instead of conversions. And this is such a common error that I see with people all the time. And it usually happens because of one of 3 reasons. So 1, you as an advertiser were just naive. You didn't know what you were doing. 2, you were using one of Google's smart campaign setups or AI features where their AI basically has certain settings checked by default to try and get you up and running as quickly as possible. And often these settings are not in your best interest. They're just trying to get you a bunch of impressions. They don't really care about your conversions. They just want to get you a bunch of eyeballs because they know it's going to be a quick dopamine hit. And then the third is you have a Google ad rep call you, which if you've run Google ads, you'll know this happens all the time. And they try and optimize your campaign for basically clicks and impressions. It's kind of like if someone went into a car dealership and offered them that they would get them 500 people into their dealership the next day, guaranteed. And then that person runs an ad in town for that dealership. Hey, come into XYZ dealership and get a free car. Well, sure, that dealership might get 500 people actually through their door next day. But if none of those people are actually qualified buyers, then what difference does it make, right? So you got to think about this the same way. Optimize for conversions instead of clicks. So let's look at some examples of this. So this is a common a sneaky link that Google does with their advertisers, but they'll often have search networks checked by default. And then sometimes this will be checked by default as well. But I recommend that if you're a starting advertiser, uncheck both of them, right? Because this is notorious for getting a lot of cheap, low intent traffic. Now, another thing is conversions were not set up properly in their account. So if we're looking at this conversions view, we have engagement and page view. Now, engagement can be pretty much any action someone takes on the actual ad. If, for example, they clicked get directions, right? Or if the ad was showing on the Google map listing and they were browsing around, like reading their hours, something like that. That would be an example of an engagement action. If then we see page view below it. So this is pretty self-explanatory. If someone just visits your website or your landing page, but again, they don't call or fill out a form, well, that's a page view. And in this previous campaign setup, both of these arbitrary metrics were set up as conversions. So this sends the wrong data to Google. Now, this was probably the most disturbing part of this whole campaign diagnosis. So if we monitor their search keyword performance, you'll see some pretty interesting things. So their search keywords, they actually look pretty qualified on the left. I mean, cleaning service, house cleaning service, in quotations, meaning it's phrase matched, for the most part, right? Like these would generate qualified clicks. But when we look at the actual conversion data on the right, it tells a whole different story. Look at this. For something like cleaning service, a conversion rate of less than 1%. They spent $2,300 on this keyword and only got 3 conversions, right? So that leaves us a cost per lead of $769. Now that is, I don't have to tell you guys, that is just unbelievable. Or this one, house cleaning, this term, again, 634 spends, 0 conversions. This one over here, 570 spends, 5 conversions, 114, still a very high cost per lead. And the thing is, when you're not monitoring this on a daily basis or weekly basis at least, or have someone that's doing it for you monitoring it, this is where all your spend is going. And if something's not leading to actual qualified leads for your business, then something is broken. And it's just a shame that so much money was spent on her account that could have been saved if they had kept a pulse on this and actually saw the data for what it was. So definitely keep an eye on your metrics. Don't spend, this amount of money on keywords that aren't performing. So we just covered landing page optimization. We just covered how to optimize the actual Google ads. We just covered hygiene. So some high level things that you guys can do to make sure you're not burning through your budget. And the truth is, guys, Google ads can be very profitable for your cleaning business if it is set up properly. So you want to follow these steps, not burn a hole through your wallets, actually get qualified leads coming in and optimizing your campaigns the right way. Now, you could follow everything I mentioned in this video to a T and do everything yourself. And if that sounds like something you want to do, awesome. I really hope this was valuable. But if you're someone who's maybe too busy, you think Google Ads is too expensive, or quite frankly, you would just rather be a CEO and deal with high-level tasks, not be a part-time ads marketer, totally understand. That is why we created the Celebrity Maid marketing system. It's a proven client acquisition system for cleaning business owners that help them scale past 20 to 40K a month. Now, if you want to check us out, click the link in the description, book a free call with myself, and we'll see if the system's a right fit for you. So check out the link below. Now, as much as these tips in this video can be to instantly improve your Google Ads campaign, the truth is we only scratched the surface. I actually recorded an in-depth training where I go way more into detail on how to set up an actual campaign from scratch, where we use an existing real business account so you can see the A to Z process of actually setting up a Google Ads campaign. I'll link the video up here. Check it out. You won't want to miss it. It's going to be very detailed and thorough. 90 minutes of pure value. Check it out.